Welcome to Week in Minutes. Have a nice day. Today is Monday, 4th of August 2025. Starting the newspaper of the world news, including Israeli minister's prayers at Flashpoint Holy Site, as officials say 27 aid seekers killed in Gaza. Two men charged after being linked to a suspected in the killings of four relatives of an abandoned infant. Trump called me in to speak soon, Canadian official says. Laptop from stolen identities. United States woman jailed for aiding North Koreans in $17 million job scam. Brazil woman dies on bus with 26 iPhones strapped to her body. Pro-ban. British man dies after falling ill before his 1.73 lakh hair transplant procedure in Turkey. Now from the Hindu newspaper we have Palestinian across West Bank protest Gaza war. Many protesters carried photos of Palestinians killed or imprisoned by Israel, as well as the photos depicting the hunger crisis unfolding in Gaza City, while United Nations-backed experts have warned that a famine is unfolding. People have large Palestinian flags as they take part in the protest in the solidarity with the Gaza and Palestinian prisoners in Israeli jails in the Ramallah in Israeli-occupied West Bank, August-3, 2025. Thousands of Palestinians protested in the occupied West Bank's major cities on Sunday, August-3, 2025, against the war in the Gaza and in support of Palestinians hailing Israeli prisoners. One of the largest marches took place in the Ramallah, the seat of the Palestinian Authority located just north of Jerusalem, with hundreds gathering at the main square waving Palestinian flags. Pakistan supports Iran's right to develop nuclear capability for peaceful purposes. Pakistan and Iran agreed in increase the bilateral trade to $8 billion annually, taking advantage of their geography and the discount of distance. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian meets with the Pakistani Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif in Islamabad, Pakistan, August 3, 2025. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian, who arrived in Islamabad on Saturday, August 2, 2025, met Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif at his official residence. At a joint press conference following their meeting, Mr. Sharif emphasized that Iran has the right to the peaceful use of nuclear energy, which has been at the center of the ongoing tensions with Israel. Pakistan stands with Iran for the acquisition of the peaceful nuclear power, he said. Interestingly, Mr. Sharif's remarks come amid heightened tensions between Iran and the United States, which has designated Pakistan a major non-NATO ally over Tehran's nuclear program. In the month of June, Israel and the United States launched coordinated airstrikes on key Iranian nuclear facilities. Iran suspended cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency (IAEA) following the attacks. China and Russia start joint naval drills in the Sea of Japan. The two sides will hold submarine rescue, joint anti-submarine air defense, and anti-missile operations and maritime combat. China and Russia have carried out annual drills for several years, with the joint sea exercises beginning in 2012. China and Russia began joint naval drills in the Sea of Japan on Sunday, August 3, 2025, as they seek to reinforce their partnership and counterbalance what they see as a United States-led global order. Alongside economic and political ties, Moscow and Beijing have strengthened their military cooperation in recent years, and their relations have deepened since Russia invaded Ukraine in the month of February 2022. Philippines President Marcos Jr. to visit India as two sides deepen maritime cooperation. President Marcos Jr. will hold delegation-level talks with Prime Minister Modi, with the two sides signing multiple agreements and Ministry of Union. Philippines President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. In a move aimed at deepening maritime cooperation with the Southeast Asian region, India will host Philippines President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr. during the August 4 to 8. This will be the first visit by the President Marcos Jr., son of the late President Ferdinand Marcos, who visited India in 1976. The Ministry of External Affairs said that the visit would formally begin with a ceremonial reception at the Rashtrapati Bhavan, which would be followed by the visit followed by a visit by President Marcos to the memorial of the Mahatma Gandhi at Rajghat. Soon after welcome ceremony at the Rashtrapati Bhavan, President Marcos will hold a delegation-level talks with the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, with the two sides signing multiple agreements at Ministry of Unions. On August 7, he will visit Bengaluru. The visit is being viewed as a culmination of the sustained political level dialogue, even as they strengthened maritime cooperation. As both Philippines and India are strong proponents of the freedom of navigation in the South China Sea, Mr. Modi had met President Marcos on the sidelines of the 21st ASEAN-India Summit and the 19th East Asia Summit in Vietnam, Lao PDR in October 2024. They had also met on sidelines of the 20th ASEAN-India Summit in Jakarta in the month of September 2023. Earlier, Mr. Modi had congratulated President Marcos after his electoral victory in 2022. Once again, Israeli forces kill over 20 people seeking food in Gaza, say witnesses, health officials. Israel forces kill 23 Palestinians seeking food in Gaza amid malnutrition crisis as the death toll rises. A view of damaged property after reported Israeli strike at what the Palestine Red Crescent Society (PRCS) says in their headquarters in a location given as Khan Yunis in the southern Gaza Strip. In this handout photo released on August 3, 2025. Israeli forces killed at least 23 Palestinians seeking food on Sunday, August 3, 2025 in the Gaza Strip, according to the hospital's officials and witnesses who described facing gunfire as hungry crowds surged around and the aid sites as a malnutrition-related death toll surged. Desperation has gripped the Palestinian territory of more than 2 million, which experts have warned is at risk of famine because of Israeli blockade and nearly 2-year offensive. Tsunami alert lifted in Russia after a magnitude of 7 earthquake near Kuril Islands. From the Hindustan Times, tsunami warning in Russia. Once again, as a tsunami was deemed possible in 3 areas of Russia. Kamchatka Peninsula on the Sunday following a 7.0 magnitude earthquake near the Kuril Islands, the country's Ministry for Emergency Services aid. However, following an assessment from the authorities, that tsunami warning has now been lifted. How Calcutta's British-era sewerage system turned a corner inside a story of restoration. The sewerage system was built in 1860 and 1875. Amalendu Bivas, a retired government employee from central Kolkata, was often forced to miss office after a downpour as the lane in front of his house would be inundated almost waist deep. As he Maktaram Babu Street, Manikatala, Thantani, MG Road and Chhatrijan Avenue were flooded even after a light rain. Now, from the economy of the country, from the business point of view, Reserve Bank of India policy, why MPC is likely to keep its repo rate unchanged in August month meeting. RBI Monetary Policy Committee meeting scheduled from August 4 to 6. State Bank of India's Group Chief Economic Advisor Soumya Kanti Ghosh, however, expects Reserve Bank of India to continue front-loading with a 25 bps cut in the month of August policy. After reducing the repo rate by 100 basis points this year, the Reserve Bank of India's RBI 6-member Monetary Policy Committee (MPC) is likely to maintain status quo in the upcoming monetary policy schedule to be announced on August 6. The MPC is also expected to retain the policy stance as neutral, while the inflation projection for financial year 26 is likely to be revised downward. The Reserve Bank of India (RBI) may retain its forecast for real gross domestic product (GDP) growth for the current year. TCS layoffs signal rising strain on Indian IT as artificial intelligence disruption United States economic voice trigger uncertainty. TCS's layoffs mark AI-led restructuring in India's IT sector and United States economic headwinds, skill mismatch and muted demand, signaling a shift toward learners, upskilled workforces. Last week, IT bellwether TCS said that it will be laying off 12,000 employees, which is 2% of its global workforce. Stocks to watch on Monday, August 4, Coal India, Tata Motors, L&T, ITC, LIC, Housing Finance, PC Jeweler, and more. Stocks to watch on August 4, 2025. Shares of several companies will remain in focus on Monday, including Bajaj Auto, Coal India, Tata Motors, L&T, ITC, LIC, Housing Finance, and PC Jeweler, among others. As many as 2,712 stocks declined, while 1,306 advanced and 151 remained unchanged on the building stock exchange. Stocks to watch: shares of several companies will remain in focus on Monday, August 4, including the Bajaj Auto, Coal India, Tata Motors, L&T, ITC, LIC, Housing Finance, and PC Jeweler, among the others. On Friday, August 1st, equity benchmark indices Sensex and Nifty declined sharply for the second straight session on Friday, tracking deep losses in pharma, metal, and IT stocks amid trade-related concerns and widespread selling prices in the global markets. In a volatile trade, the 30-share building stock exchange Sensex tumbled 585.67 points or 0.72% to settle at 80,599.91 during the day. It dropped to 690.01 points or 0.84% to 80,495.57. As many as 2,712 stocks declined, while 1,306 advanced and 151 remained unchanged on the BSE. The 50-share NSE Nifty declined on 203 points or 0.282% to the 24,565.35. Now from Science and Tech, we have study alleging widespread antibiotic contamination in Indian rivers based on the assumption, government says. The study conducted by researchers from MC Gill University alleged that 80% of the total length of the rivers in India could be posing environmental and health risks due to the antibiotic pollution. State pollution control boards have been empowered to prescribe additional relevant parameters and monitoring frequencies based on the local conditions. A recent study alleging widespread antibiotic contamination in Indian rivers is based on the simulations and assumptions, and therefore no conclusion on the issue can be drawn from it, the government has said. Replying to a question by Congress MP Pramod Tiwari in the Rajya Sabha on Friday, Union Minister of the State of the Environment Kriti Vardhan Singh said the study has cited its own limitations of the data availability. Seeds of the sea buckhorn, Himalayan buckhead, part of the experiment on ISS. The seed is grown in the Ladakh via sourced by Bangalore-based space startup Protoplanet. A SpaceX Falcon 9 rockets lifts off from the Launch Complex 39A, carrying NASA Crew 11 mission into the International Space Station in the Cape Canaveral, Florida, United States, August 1st, 2025. Seeds of the sea buckthorn and buckwheat, grown in the cold desert of Ladakh, are part of the experiments on the board the International Space Station flown by NASA's Crew 11 mission. Seeds procured from the 11 nations across 5 continents are part of the study spearheaded by United States-based bioastronautics firm Jaguar Space. It plans to expose the seeds to microgravity conditions for a week. Are you really allergic to penicillin? A pharmacist explains why there is a good chance you are not and how you can find out for sure. With the right question, testing, and experiments, many people can safely reclaim penicillin as an option for treating common infections. Imagine you are at your doctor's office with a sore throat. The nurse asks any allergies, without hesitation. You reply penicillin. It is something you have said for the years, maybe since childhood, maybe because a parent told you so. The nurse wants to make a note and moves on. But here's a kicker: there is a good chance you are not actually allergic to penicillin. About 10 to 20% of the Americans report that they have penicillin allergy, yet fewer than 1% actually do. The good news is that it has gotten a lot easier in recent years to pin down the trust of the matter. More and more clinicians now recognize that many penicillin allergy labels are incorrect and there are safe, simple ways to find out your actual allergy status. Now at last, there is a famous personality of India who is known by his famous name Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, full name Abul Kalam Ghulam Muhyiddin. Born on 11th of November 1888 up to 22nd February 1958, better known as the Maulana Azad and sometimes referred as the Abul Kalam Azad, was an Indian writer, activist of the Indian independence movement, and the statesman, a senior leader of the Indian National Congress. Following the India's independence, he became the first Minister of Education in the Government of India. His contribution to establishing the Education Foundation in India is recognized by celebrating his birthday as a National Education Day across the India. In the month of October 1920, Azad was elected as a member of Foundation Committee to establish Jamia Millia Islamia at Aligarh in the Uttar Pradesh. Without taking help from the British colonial government, he assisted in shifting the campus of the university from Aligarh to New Delhi in 1934. The main gate, gate number 7, to the main campus of the university is named after him. Azad was one of the main organizers of the Dara Sana Satyagraha in 1931 and emerged as one of the most important national leaders of the time, prominently leading the cause of the Hindu-Muslim unity as well as exposing secularism and socialism. He served as the Congress president from 1940 to 1945, during which the Quiet India Rebellion was launched. Azad was imprisoned together with the entire Congress leadership. He also worked for Hindu-Muslim unity through the Al-Hilal newspaper. Maulana Azad says a very famous quotation as he says that, "Be more dedicated to making solid achievements than in running after swift but synthetic happiness." He also says that education imparted by heart can bring revolution in the society. Okay, thank you.